Okay, guys, this time let's talk a little bit about restrictive covenants. Are these still part of today's business world? Absolutely. They are on the books in almost every state, guys. It's hard to believe that's true, but they are still written, in the covenants and restrictions of a lot of developments. You have developments started in the early 1900s, and nobody has come along yet and challenged that, got a lawyer and went through to fight it. It's illegal for anybody to adhere to that today, and you would win a case, but you still got to go through the expense and time of filing a claim and going through all that. So it's not easy to get it gone, but it is against the law for any place to actually adhere to any of those covenants in this day and time. But it's hard to believe that they are in most every state. But let's just see what some of them look like. No part of a said property, nor any portion thereof, shall be for said term of 50 years occupied by any person not of the Caucasian race. For 50 years, nobody other than a person of the Caucasian race can occupy that property. Wow, this is 2026, and that is still on the books. Now, this was actually in St. Louis from 1911 in a house that was built in 1906. But in 1911, that was in the restrictive covenants. Now here's one from San Diego. Shall ever be leased, sold, devised, conveyed, or inherited, or to be otherwise acquired by, or become property of any person than that of the Caucasian race. Says the same thing in a little more detail, but it shall ever be lived upon or occupied by any person than that of the Caucasian race, strictly in the capacity of servants or employees. Oh my gosh, guys. But anyway, this is where our history comes from. And restrictive covenants, if they're in your area, you need to make sure that you know about them. If you have appraisals in that area, you need to make sure that you know that that's in there, make a comment about it, and why it is not legal for that to be enforced this day and time. Let's get started in a little more detail.